And today for the Sports and Stuff podcast, we have a very special guest. Very excited about this young prospect in the state of Arizona. We got Ray Thorson, powerhouse prep guard, one of the top guards in the state, I would say, for this 23 class. So appreciate you coming on, man. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me. I'm doing well.
I'm good. Let's go. How's it been so far this season? You guys kind of kicked it off these last couple of weeks, like I know a lot of schools have. What's it kind of been like, being in this grind session, and what's kind of been the feel for the season so far?
We got a new group of guys, so just we all kind of just met each other not too long ago. So just getting on the same page. In the beginning, it's kind of rocky, but now we all on the same page, and we know we got to do to be successful.
Is it kind of weird in that sense? I know a lot of kids, transfer in and out, especially like in the prep world. I know they might go from one to another and then they end up on some small team in the middle of nowhere. But is it kind of hard for you guys to keep chemistry going with how much, it's not necessarily a sustained roster year in and year out?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's basketball, and you try to if everyone's on the same page, like and everyone got the same goal, you just got to lock in.
You guys play at the facility, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What is playing in that place like? It kind of like when I haven't been there yet. I want to come down soon. When I see videos of it, it seems, kind of like a small JUCO gym with really nice seating.
Yeah, so there's like a big court that's
Yeah.
huge. Like that court is huge. And then there's two small courts that are like regular high school size that are like in the other gym. But nah, it's when everyone's there and it's like a lot of people there, it's lit. It's lit there. But nah, it's a good gym because they got two courts right there, got a shooting machine. I love the gym.
So you were telling me before we started recording, you unfortunately got injured twice last year, was not able to finish out your junior year with Powerhouse. I know you guys were 11-1 before y'all started, before you went down. How do you feel you and the rest of the guys were playing before that unfortunate injury for you?
Yeah, we was still kind of in the mix of figuring it out, but like we was showing people that we was a lot tougher than they thought we were because we weren't really big and we was a whole bunch of shooters, but we was tough and we had to show the coaching staff and show everybody that. But now we were rocking.
You guys finished in the final four in the grind session, which is one of the bigger prep leagues, I guess you could say, in here. What is kind of the I guess competitive level of that? Because I'm assuming the grind session is not just teams from Arizona, right? It's around the country.
Yeah, the whole country.
So what is that like? I know a lot of traveling, I'm sure, is involved with it, but on the competitive side of the ball, what is that like? Is it, top recruits coming every night against you guys, or what's kind of the feel for how or for who you play during that grind session season?
Yeah, it's like so every night, like you don't know if you're gonna play a Kansas commit, and then tomorrow you're gonna play Kentucky commit, and then this dude got 60 offers. Like, so you just gotta be ready. But you gotta want that. Like, you can't shy away from that because it's happening every night, and they're gonna come at you, like, because they don't know you, so you gotta come at them. You act like you don't know them. Just go at them.
What's been some of the tougher guys you've had to go up against? As one of the top guards in the state, and especially playing for a prep ball team, I'm sure that you guys kind of just get thrown to the fire with some of the best in the country. So, who are some of the tougher guys you've had to go up against throughout this past year and a half of playing prep ball?
Uh, Trey Parker, he's tough. You know, it's a lot of tough guys. It's more so like teams though, like tough teams we gotta go against. Like because like sometimes there's one guy, then the rest of the team. Like I play Leonard Miller and we beat them by like 35, but he's a pro. Like feel me? So like it's just like I don't know because you can kind of like you know handle one guy, but when it's like four or five people, it's like dang,
And
it'd be hard.
I'm sure it makes it a whole lot worse when they're all 6'7" and got like 7 foot wingspans.
Yeah, they can all shoot it. All got 40-inch verticals, all that.
Um, you were able to play with Vegas Elite though this past in the summer in the EYBL. What things were you working on with them to kind of make this last season with Powerhouse your best season yet?
So when I got there, they weren't we weren't really too good record wise, and so I got there like third session, and the guard who was there before was he had left, so I came in like for the spot, and then I just really just wanted to like win, and I know like the ball really wasn't being moved around as well, so I was just there to just get people open and really just play winning basketball and just play defense and see how I stack up against like really the best guards in the country. And so yeah, that had me like I was going home working so extra hard in between sessions.
What is playing in the EYBL like? I know it's looked at as excuse me, probably the top club kind of like company like circuit, I guess you could say, in the country. With I know
Yeah.
Unity is really good, but then you got like Boo Williams, Mac Irvin Fire, Moken. Like I know all the top guys and top school and top clubs. Um, was it kind of weird for you at first, being able to play in events that are so big like the EYBL? Or was it kind of just another day at the office for you?
Like so I played Adidas 3SSB, so I kind of knew. But then like you get to UIBL and your first game versus Florida Rebels, and you seeing everybody in warm ups, and you walking by, and like, you just seeing everything. You seeing Westbrook, Bradley Beal. At first it's like dang, like you seeing all the gear, like yo, I'm really here. And then once the ball gets thrown up, it just all right, it's time to lock in.
You're six
Because
one. You're looked at as one of the best players in the state. With how you use your skill and your size to your advantage. What can we expect from Ray Thorson this upcoming season?
it's gonna be like a lot of killing. And you're gonna see a way more explosive Ray, like using my athleticism, like all that. Jumper improved, all that, just all better round player.
You had a 40-point per game performance a couple of weeks ago. Recruit Zone, I know, posted on Twitter about how, a lot of mid-major Division I schools and top D1 schools should start taking notice of you. Getting recognition like that, I'm sure from a lot of other people when that happened. Did that make you feel accomplished? Was that just kind of another game when you're just in your zone and nobody can stop you? Or kind of take us through what that game was like for you?
Just another game. Just got we had a game right after that, right after. So I had the thing I told recruit zone, just went away. Like I ain't thought about it since this. Just another real, just another game.
Um, I want to talk about your recruiting for a second before we get into kind of your averages, what goals you have for yourself and stuff like that. What has the recruiting been like for you? I'm sure, being injured last year, it probably hurt the fact that you weren't able to perform like you, I'm sure, wanted to last year. But with playing in the EYBL and having a lot of great performances and being on a very good team like Powerhouse, what has the recruiting for you been like?
So last year after Section 7, my recruiting like jumped a lot. I was hearing from a lot of schools. And then when I got hurt, it just feels like the world just stopped. Like, which is okay. So the whole time I was hurt, I was just kept working. And then this summer, it picked back up. And then now, after playing against, a couple of JUCOs and doing my thing, it's really starting to pick up a little bit more now. So I'm going to just like keep doing my thing and it's going to keep building. I'm already knowing.
If you don't mind me asking, what schools have reached out to you? Have there been any that have offered you, or kind of what's been the feel of some of the schools that have kind of started to look your way and appreciate how much you can put, how much well or how well you play the game and how that you can possibly be in their system?
Yeah, so I still have I have schools that recruited me in the past before I got hurt that tap back in, we tap back in, and then I have schools like Chattanooga, Kansas State, San Diego that like really are interested in me, like wanting me to come in and make an immediate impact. So and I know it's more to come, and schools tap in and out. So just playing the long game.
Before we get into kind of how well you've played this season, what makes you feel so confident on the court, I do want to talk to you about why you made the move to the prep circuit and especially Powerhouse. You played at Queen Creek, and I did find your averages here. Um, you averaged 10 and a half, 5.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and 2 steals a game, as a 6'1" junior. Why did you make the move to prep to Powerhouse specifically instead of staying in the AIA with Queen Creek?
So I really just wanted to like after I played 3SSB that summer, and I felt like I could really compete with the best, and I wanted to like let it be known that because playing AIA, everyone was leaving to prep schools, and I have like big dreams, aspirations, so I want to really be with the rest of the fishes in the pond, I want to stand out too. And I let people know, like, yo, like these guys who y'all really hyping and all that, like I'm that and more too. So I really just wanted to get over there and compete with the best.
Do you feel like it hurts some players sometimes, like recruiting wise and kind of like using their skill? Because the thing with me in prep, there's a lot of kids that stand out in their high school specifically and, average that 25 a game. They're the talk of the school, talk of the town of where they are.
Yeah,
And then they'll move to, a big prep school. And I hate putting it this way, but some of them I know just become another number to that school. And
yeah,
the recognition they feel like they were going to get doesn't end up actually coming. Do you feel in your mind and maybe some experiences of people that prep ball has come back to hurt some in for the future, especially?
yeah. Because like when you get there, like basically all the hard work you put in at this high school, when you get to the prep, it restarts. You got to work just as hard because you're competing against people who are just as good, and people might get comfortable sometimes. But in my eyes, when I see someone go to a prep and they don't kill, I'm just like, okay, you were never a killer because like killers got to kill other killers. Like that's what
Mm-hmm.
prep is. Like there's a whole bunch of killers. We're gonna see who the best one is. So yeah, they be getting people though.
I would love to hear this about you too. What in your eyes have been the pros and the cons of moving from an AIA school to a prep academy?
Uh, Cons. Oh man, we be running, but we used to that. But the pros of it really is just there's really no cons. It's just I just love basketball and just love competing versus the best. So the pros is just like it's the best all the time. You got to have your A game. If you come and you worried about something else besides basketball, you gonna have a bad game, man. So it just really makes you lock in.
You are averaging right now 20 and a half points, 7.5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2.5 steals, and 1.5 charges a game. My favorite stat on there is the 1.5 charges because it shows that you love to sacrifice your body. You will do anything for your team to win, like you said. What makes or what has made you feel so confident this season to not just play like this right now, but continue to play like this throughout the rest of the season?
It was up and down at first, but I just stayed true. Like when it was going downhill a little bit, I was just kept working hard and just kept trusting myself. My coaches and my teammates really encouraged me to just be myself out there. And with that, like there's no way not to be successful.
What in one word would you say is how you play? A lot of people I've had on, they'll say aggressive, dog, leader. But for you, what would say in what word would you say best describes how you play?
Uh, like controlling. Like I control the game. Like if I want the game to move fast, we gonna play fast. But if I want to slow down, we gonna slow down, and I'm not gonna get sped up. Or if you try to make me slow down, I'm not gonna let you slow me down. I'm gonna just keep coming. So like controlling, I really know how to control the game. I feel like.
Is there anybody you try to play like, as a lead point guard for your squad specifically? Um, some guys that come to mind for me, it's kind of a Brad Beal type way you play, but point guard wise, it's a little like younger Chris Paul in my eyes, just like how you take the charges, and then you're also being able to distribute the ball at a high level. But you're way more athletic than I thought after watching a lot of the clips and highlights and tape that I've been able to watch. But if there's anybody you try to play like, take pieces of their game to add to yours, who would that be?
There's a lot of people. Like first, I like picking from Kyrie and Iverson. Like Iverson is really my favorite player of all time. Like how hard he plays, he dominates the game. Like he's coming at you the whole time. Kyrie has a crazy bag. I like John Morant because he affects the game so many ways. Steve Nash, I watch a lot of Steve Nash, Kid, like how they control the game and stuff. So I
Yeah.
really just take from a lot. Chris Paul. Chris Paul uses his body very well, like just stuff like that.
You are like your downhill style of play when you get on that fast break, excuse me, is something that's kind of like unheard of at this age. A lot of people, especially when they grab the ball, they just like think to go down, like sprint as hard as they possibly can and get that easy layup or kick it out. How you're able to kind of facilitate the offense after you grab that defensive rebound, you're not just like sprinting down court to make a quick bucket. You're
Yeah.
able to find the guys that you need to, or, make that quick like crossover to get to that to get to the layup and stuff like that. Where did that come from? How has it just been an overtime thing for you, or was that a move something like that someone like Jason Kidd, I know a lot, did that too, that you kind of picked up from watching film like that?
So my club coach, like who like really like he was like a father to me. His name's Coach Scooby. So when we was younger, I first started playing basketball. I have teammates, weren't that good, and we get pressed by these good teams, and he wouldn't make a press break. He'd just say, "Figure it out." So just so from that, like growing up playing, like we would play every weekend, just having to figure out how to get people open, or like I know he can't dribble, so he has to shoot it standing still. Like so, figuring all that out, and that
Right.
really helped. And just trying to win because I hate losing. Like it could be a Saturday game, and we got 2 games tomorrow. Still, I'll be crying in the car if we lose. Like when I was younger. So yeah, I used to just have to figure stuff out. So just kind of that. And then like watching so much film, like when Ja gets out transition, how he facilitated LeBron when he gets out and runs, like and
Right.
stuff like that. Just being Draymond Green, just like being very versatile.
I know your schedule is kind of weird. You told me before, you said like we have like our set schedule grind session, but then our coach will text us and just be like, "Hey, we're playing here at this time against this person. Be there." Um, who are you most looking forward to playing in the grind session, though? I know there's a lot of top teams in the country, a lot of top players. Is there anybody specifically you're excited to play against, and then any team you're excited to play against?
So in this ACU league we in, we're probably in the playoffs of it. We're gonna play Hillcrest most likely because we played them in the beginning of the season, but we didn't have everybody. Like they didn't have everybody. It was very like weird. But we will play each other again, and that's the game I'm looking forward for. I can't wait to have that one.
You see guys like Dalen, like DeAndre Ayton. I know who both that were at Hillcrest. Ty was at Compass. Um, you see Shaden too. All guys that have been drafted in the league, all have made it to the next level in college, as well. How much motivation does it give you being a kid from Arizona, seeing guys that I'm sure you've known about, you might have known personally, being able to make it to that next level and really make a statement for Arizona that we are a very good basketball state?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like gives you like it makes it like reality. Like, oh, I grew up with Tata. I grew up with Dalen. Like, because you don't really see no NBA player how they come up and never see him. You just like, oh, he in the NBA. Like, I know this
Right.
player in the league. But being around it and seeing it, like, it makes it like, okay, they worked hard to get there. Like, I just got to do the same thing or just work even harder. And I know it's possible.
One of my last questions for you. I'm sure, basketball takes up a lot of your time and you're just kind of mentally, physically, I'm sure too. Is there any hobbies you got to kind of get your mind off it if you're feeling stressed about something? Or is there any pregame stuff you kind of do to kind of just chill out for a bit before you get into that killer mode?
Nah. I just love basketball. Like before the game, I work out with my coach Scoob. I work out with Scooby. That's what we're doing before the game, and I'm stretching. And then like after games, in between games, I'm watching film or something to watch. I just love basketball.
What's gonna be some of your favorite on-court shoes this year? I know it's an Under Armour school. I don't know, if y'all gotta wear full Under Armour shoes or if you can wear some like Kobe's or some Adidas stuff. If it is Under Armour, what's been the go-to shoe for you throughout the season so far?
I'm wearing these Currys, but they killing my feet. But I'm finding the right one. Like I was in these Currys, I'm in these. Like I'm trying to find the right Curry to pick. So I'm searching, but my favorite like go to are like Kyrie's or Kobe's. Like that was my go to. But in Under Armour's, I'm just trying to find which. So if anyone knows which Under Armour, please get at me because my feet is dying.
I saw Dylan Novak play on Friday night, and he's a killer. But he was in
Some Under Armours and
some
Nike jerseys, like with Adidas socks. I'm like, Dylan, come on, Dylan.
he wore the same Currys at the game I was at on Friday against Saguaro, and they were like some like pink Curry sevens, I think, or maybe Curry eights.
Getting busy in them, getting busy, getting
Um,
busy.
you were at the Fear the Hop tournament too, right?
Yeah,
What were some takeaways, being there? Because I know the House Twins and Zach and Ryan, especially, those guys are destroying it at
yeah.
DM right now. Isaiah at Campo is great. Cohen at Mesquite, and then Dylan, the rest of the Mesa guys. A lot of great talent was shown throughout that tournament. What were some takeaways for you, though, real quick, being able to see the kind of this next generation that you're a part of Arizona Hoopers.
Yeah, it's a good, the house twins, them young boys, they're nice. But I was really just happy that my boy Dylan was able to just like, like he had to beat a lot of tough teams, especially everyone thinking ALA wasn't gonna do good, and he really went out there and put on and getting 30 and all that, controlling the game. Like that was crazy. I loved it.
Your trainer hit me up, Tanner, to
Yes,
get
sir.
you on. Being with him, training, constantly with him, how much has that improved your game? He's a young and up and coming trainer. I know in the state, trains guys like you and Dylan and a lot of other guys around the valley. With his mindset and kind of ways he's trying to help your game, how much has that helped you throughout the past couple of months of being with him?
So actually, when I got hurt, and I went to the physical therapy place that I was at, he worked there, and so we met there. And like the physical therapy place I was at, they didn't really know what was going on with me. That's why I was misdiagnosed twice.
Gotcha.
And then, but he knew, like he kind of had a feeling, so I trusted him. I was like, "Yo, I'll come to your house." Like he said, "I've Vertimax, I'll work you out." So we got into it, and then like we just been locked, like really locked in ever since. Like he really, like without him, I wouldn't be playing. Like he helped the injury so much and helps my vertical crazy, getting stronger, and just like as a person too, someone I can talk to, and yeah, it helps me with my shooting, all that. Like he really be there for me.
Well, Ray, I appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with me for this last little bit. Anything to shout out before we get out of here?
Shout out my moms. That's pretty much it. Shout out my moms. I love you, mom. That's pretty much
Well,
it.
man, I appreciate you coming on and excited to see what's next for you in your career with basketball. Excited to see what happens this upcoming season. Keep killing it. We're all rooting for you, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.